Helen.
And I'm Liz.
And we're sisters,
Scientists,
and lifelong X-Files fans.
And this is We Want to Believe.
Hi, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome, colleagues.
We are going to talk about X-Files Season 5, Episode 2, to finish up our kind of three-parter at the end of Season 4. Next week, we'll be... I almost said broadcasting, airing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I tune in to 105.5. Yeah.
Our interview with Susan Blommaert, and then we'll mostly be on a break for the summer.
We will have reruns every week, and they will be thematic. So you will get selections. Helen, you will have, you'll be surprised. I'm going to record some intros for them. And
Awesome.
So yeah, we're going to have like a themed summer where the two themes are classic monsters and Liz and Helen make mistakes. So I'll talk about those. And so you'll still get an episode every week. If you're anything like us, you've forgotten what we say in them anyhow. So we'll play those, and we will get one new bonus episode at some point during the summer when Helen and I go and see Disclosure Day, the new Alien movie from Steven Spielberg that looks real scary.
Yes. I'm very excited. I'm very... I can't. Who am I? I'm Laura. Laura can't not look at the Goblin Men.
Yeah. You're the one who looks at the Goblin Men. I know that. So
yeah. I had someone recommend a book to me, and then a friend of mine was saying like, "Oh, this book made me so mad," and now I'm like, "Well, now I have to read it." So,
I mean, I did once read. Adam and I did it almost as like a couple's book club. We read Ready Player One together because we heard it was bad. And so we were like, ooh, let's read it. And we hated it. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But it was like so much fun. So yeah, did not care for it.
Have you watched Hamilton yet?
No. Have you watched that Simpsons episode, Homer at the Bat?
No, but honestly, I just forgot because my entire personality has turned into heated rivalry.
Well, it's nice to meet you, completely new person. Okay.
Yeah, and I have to tell the story. Oh, and you saw this when I posted it on Instagram. It won't mean as much to you as you have not changed your entire personality to this show.
I haven't watched it, but I'm happy about it existing.
Yeah, I've read all of her books.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of them. And it's like I read Heated Rivalry, which is technically the second one. I read that first because I wanted to watch the show.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, this is fine. It's like a nice, fun book. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the show and was obsessed. And then I read all of her other books. And they actually, I feel like some of the other ones are actually, legitimately good.
Oh, okay.
But I was... for people that do know what I'm talking about.
And Hated Rivalry, by the way, if you don't know what she's talking about, is the gay hockey show?
Yes.
Basically? Yeah.
Yeah. I was driving home from work listening to the soundtrack. A little bit embarrassing.
Because everyone I know is obsessed with it, I happen to know that the Tattoo song, All the Things She Said, is used in it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Memories.
You are correct.
Yeah.
And I was driving home and I saw a man in his front yard, presumably, wearing a hockey jersey, and he was putting up a sign that said "Love is love." And then he turns to shake his neighbor's hand, who is also wearing a hockey jersey. And on the back of the first guy's jersey, it says Hollander, which is one of the main characters. And I was like, how is this happening to me? And then I feel like I'm hallucinating or lying or
It's like in, I was just talking about this episode. It's like the good version of that. The one where there's the fictionalized Milosevic and people are hallucinating bad things. You're having a pleasant, heated rivalry hallucination world. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine. I mean, that's better than the real world.
Yeah, that's a great way to live. Yeah.
Do you have anything before we get started?
I do.
Oh my gosh, you have something so important.
Oh my God, of course I do. Of course I do. I mean, it's my very own X-File, I would say, based on what he looks like. Or you might say the X-File is, how did Adam and I make a decision like this so quickly and with so little intention or planning? But I do also have two other things to talk about in addition to the big thing, the big 73-pound thing.
73 pounds?
73 pounds. That's what they say.
Oh, wow.
So we are talking about a dog. So last Sunday, Adam and I went to a greyhound walk that was mostly like, people who own greyhounds getting together, walking the greyhounds. And we were very late. We do not own any greyhounds right now. Archer passed away 1.5 years ago. I have not felt ready. I have still been very sad. Plus, we travel a lot, and we were just like, I don't know, not yet. Turns out there was one adoptable dog there. His name is Ringo. He walked up and he set his head against Adam's leg, and I saw Adam's face, and I was like, oh, like we were just goners. He's just like such a sweet boy. And then he tried to follow us into our car. And we found out he'd only been with his foster family for like 2-ish weeks. And before that, he'd been at the kennel for months waiting to get adopted.
Oh, why?
Yeah, I don't know. I talked to somebody at Greyhound Pets of America, Wisconsin, and she said something to the effect of like, he just doesn't interview well.
Yeah. I mean, do any greyhounds though? Like,
I mean, some of them are a lot more outgoing. Like we were talking about it. There were about 9 or 10 greyhounds on this walk. And I mean, all the rest of them already had homes, but had they been adoptable, we wouldn't have wanted them. Like they weren't right for us. Like there was one who was like skittish, 1 or 2. And then there was one who like kicked me in the chest immediately, which like I'm charmed by. Like I love all dogs, but when it's like, we want a dog, we weren't looking to adopt a dog. Our whole plan had been, maybe we're going to start fostering. And so we went out to lunch after seeing the dogs and we were like, we got to start fostering because, oh my God. But we kept being like, oh, I don't know. And like, we were like, oh, we can't. But on the other hand, could we? And so we decided we wouldn't talk about it at all until Monday after work. And then we spent the whole car ride home from work talking about it. And then as soon as we got home, I made the call and said, we want him. And they were so happy. And we got him yesterday morning. So we went from last Saturday thinking, don't know when we're going to get a dog again, to Thursday, 5 days later, here, he's in our house. It's great. So,
and he's so strange and wonderful.
I think we should share a picture of him on our Instagram.
Absolutely.
He's his own little X-File. The X-File is, how is he so strange? He's got, as I have told you, he's got the face of a baboon and the neck of a giraffe. He's perfect. And he's from Australia, and he's extra fuzzy. And also, we looked up his racing records because he's, an ex-racer. We were able to find them. Not impressive, but that's okay. Yeah, there's 8 dogs to a race, and he came in 3rd a couple of times, but was mostly 6th, 7th, or 8th.
Well, that would be my record too, Ringo.
Yeah, so. I mean, Teresa, our old greyhound, never even raced, but I don't think that was speed. I think that was more
personality. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should share a photo of him on Instagram so that people can admire him. So we'll do that.
Absolutely. Yes. He's very admirable.
He is. Yeah. He's so good and strange.
I can't wait to meet him, especially because you keep calling him fuzzy, which is like
fuzzy.
I know that's really like I want to see my threshold for fuzz.
Oh yeah. And I have a feeling you won't even detect it. It's like when I think my hair is curly and all, and you're like, it's wavy a little.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's been wavy lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my hair is as curly as he is fuzzy.
Well, I remember the other dogs. I remember their level of fuzz.
Yeah. So,
I'm very excited.
He's got a kind of a bushy tail. For a greyhound. It's so great.
Oh, that's so strange. He's so lovely.
So I have a few other things to share, not as life-changing of news, but important. One is from a listener that I wanted to share, speculating again on Scully's medical training, as we brought up. Because this listener is a physician. Cool. And she didn't say one way or the other if I should say her name, so we'll just not share her name, even though this is nothing scandalous. Yeah. But I wanted to share what she had to say, because I think us, trying to do this math and figure out Scully's training is kind of interesting. And she said that, in her opinion, the timing does not make sense unless Scully never completed a residency. To be a pathologist, she'd need 3 or 4 years of college, since not all med schools technically require an undergrad degree, just certain classes and an MCAT score. 4 years of medical school and a 3+ year residency. Then she needed to go to the FBI Academy, and she taught there for at least a year before she was assigned to the X-Files, which she started at 28. There are 6-year undergrad/med school programs, so she would have had to have started one of those at age 16, undergrad plus med school, then did a residency, or never did a residency. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, what if she did start at 16? Then, of course, we do get into the problem, though, of but it was Mulder who said it, because we know she did her senior thesis on Einstein's twin paradox. But Mulder says when you were 23, but he could be wrong, maybe. So
that's true. Yeah, thank you for writing that in to that listener. And thank you for providing options. It's very nice to hear okay, so she could have, if she had started really young, or and had specifically gotten into one of these 6-year programs.
Yeah.
Or if she had not finished her residency. Now, I wonder yeah. So, okay. And so this person said that pathology residency is 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I don't know what my beliefs about her training are.
Well, we'll just keep paying attention.
Yeah.
Seeing if we get more insight. Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing I want to share is about it's related to the episode Teso dos Bichos. Remember that one? Big cats? Not very good? Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Archaeologists in the bad way?
Yes. Yes.
So, I, by total chance, happened to read this book that deeply informed me about that episode and also how bad it is.
Now, I thought... Wait, hold on. Weren't you reading a book at the time? I thought, didn't we talk about this, or is this new?
I just finished the book today.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Oh, I'm thinking of, never mind. When we were talking about El Chupacabra, you had been reading Vampires of El Norte at the time?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I just read this book called We Will Be Jaguars by Namante Nankimo, and I apologize if I pronounced her name wrong. I do that. If you're a UK listener, the book in the UK is called We Will Not Be Saved. And it's nonfiction. It just came out in 2024. Namante is a member of the Waorani tribe in Ecuador. And they're some of the last people living there to be reached by Christian missionaries in the 50s. And she became a huge climate activist and was part of this group. She was the leader of this group created to sue to get their lands protected, and they won because, of course, the government was going to make a deal with oil companies, as they already had started to, and so they were able to protect I think, I don't remember the measurement, so so I don't want to say it wrong, but a quite big area, and they now have legal precedent that they can build on to protect even more for all the people that live in the forest near the Amazon. And the book is about her life and how she came to be doing that. She's about my age, so as far as I don't know, cultural touchstones and stuff, I'm reading it and not really thinking about the time, and then Facebook gets mentioned, but it was really, really good. I highly recommend it. So it's, again, We Will Be Jaguars if you're in the US, or We Will Not Be Saved if you're in the UK, by Namante Nankimo. It's really, really good. And the reason I bring it up in terms of Teso dos Bichos is that in Teso dos Bichos, what happens is there is a group of white archaeologists in Ecuador who piss off some indigenous people there, and a jaguar spirit kills people. And jaguar spirits are huge in this book. Like, that
Really?
is a legit part of their belief system. And I hadn't realized that. As is drinking ayahuasca, as happens in that episode. Right. That is not to say that it is a good episode, to be clear, or well done. Just that the jaguar motif, that like the use of jaguar spirits is totally a thing, and comes up a bunch in the book. But yeah, in the episode, it's like these archaeologists like take an artifact back with them that's really important, and that's why the jaguar attacks. And having read this book, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's stuff like polluting their rivers so that they can't have anything to drink because there's oil and there's, all sorts of contaminants and stuff like that, or digging giant roads through their jungle. Like, like maybe those are the reasons the jaguars should kill these people, not they took a statue. Like, I feel like it is, again, one of those, like, ooh, mystical othering things, as opposed to, like, these people, like literally, it's like this guy who was part of the lawsuit is, like, his kids died because he didn't know that it wasn't safe for them to drink this water. Like, jeez. Yeah. Wow. It's so good, though, and I read it in, like, 24 hours, so wow. I really recommend it.
That's awesome. Oh, that's really cool. Neat. That's great. Yeah, because I remember being very underwhelmed by that episode. This is exciting. Yeah,
not a good episode. I was reading some stuff about that episode today and remembering stuff you had shared about it. And the one thing about the second salmon, that they use different color paper for each draft, and that they had gone through so many drafts of this script that they were on their second version that was on salmon colored paper. And because they just like rewrote it over and over. And I guess they had a scene where there were supposed to be cats like attacking, but it went really poorly because it turns out you can't direct cats.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it was like they did take some legit notes of things, but didn't use them in a good way at all, and used it in a mystical.
So if you're interested, go read this book.
Yes, I strongly recommend this book. It's a fast read, and it's like, I don't know, provides like a beautiful template for how to be an activist and do important stuff, and also like how to help other communities without going in and being the savior and whatever. And I thought it was great.
That's awesome. Cool. Oh, I can't wait. I will put that on my list. My list is a long one, but I will put it on it.
I got it just because I was like, I'm just looking for something that's available in the library app. And I've been reading a lot of nonfiction about like hiking and stuff lately. So I'm like getting more outdoorsy suggestions. And yeah,
my suggestions have been very different.
Yours are all heated rivalry based, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I have had to go into now gay figure skating books.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay.
Which I recently finished one, which was not very good. I don't think it was because it was figure skating. I think it was, because the book wasn't as good.
I have to imagine it's not sport dependent.
Which Zach dubbed lukewarm rivalry. So so maybe I should switch to some nonfiction for a bit.
I mean, I feel like this book is probably as far as you can get from that.
I'll tell you though, like it all of these that I've been reading all have like guaranteed happy ever afters, and so it's been very nice to just like
great.
See good things happen to good people.
This has a lot of like feeling. Dark moments, but I had Googled this woman when I was like a third of the way through the book and found out that she won her lawsuit. So knowing that going in was also helpful in kind of the same way, but obviously different.
Yeah, no, that's nice though. Okay, so we're talking about Redux Part 2.
Yeah.
So this is a 3-parter essentially. Because it started the last episode of season 4, and then you talked about Redux Part 1, or just Redux, last week. So if we all recall, Mulder shot a guy who was spying on him. He was above his apartment.
Through a hole in his floor.
Yes. And he was then underneath some like secret storage in the Pentagon, looking through files. He found a little vial of something.
Under Scully's name.
Right. Scully was in the hearing, being questioned. She fainted. And this was all in like the little mini recap. And then we find out that what was in the vial was just DI water. So now we see.
Is that what the cool people call it? DI water? For deionized?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would call us cool people, but yeah. Yeah.
The people who are in the know.
Yes. Yes, it is DI water. So now it's like present day. There was the little recap. And we're in a hospital in Washington, and Mulder is walking in there very purposefully to find Scully. So Scully was brought to the hospital after fainting.
Yes.
And Skinner is there and says, "You look pretty good for a dead man." And it's clear that like he knows Mulder was not actually dead.
Yeah.
And so she's in the ICU, and apparently she went into hypovolemic shock, which is when you lose too much blood. So that's shock from losing. So like that, I have a few scientific qualms about like how much blood did she lose from a nosebleed? But I guess if it's cancer based, maybe a lot. I mean, I don't know. But she went in.
When I was about a 7th grader, I was like shaving my legs for one of the first times, and I nicked myself, and I bled a teeny bit because I nicked myself, and then I felt woozy from the sight of blood, but thought I was woozy from all the blood loss.
Oh, I thought this was going into something about actual blood loss, and I was like, how could you possibly have?
No, it was not.
Okay. So yeah, you need to lose quite a bit for that. And Mulder is like trying to get there and to see what's going on and to be in there, and Skinner is trying to block him. And Skinner says kind of roughly like, "She's dying, Mulder." Like,
God,
like,
yeah.
And so then we see the intro. So we're now after the intro. It just says, "Truth is out there."
Okay.
We're in the FBI building, and Mulder and Scully. Nope, not Mulder and Scully. Used to that. Mulder and Skinner walk into an office.
SK sound, yeah.
Yeah. And in there is Section Chief Blevins, whose name I will try to remember because I forgot it when I was writing my notes, and so I wrote the same guy that hired Scully.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that now, so okay. Yeah.
Yes. And he's kind of like, "Oh, so Mulder, you're alive," so they say like, "Well, now we have to verify the identity of whose body was found in your apartment."
Are they going to verify who shot him in the face?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And this is, of course, coming right after the episode Zero Sum. This series of episodes is coming after the episode of Zero Sum in which everyone thought Mulder shot some people, which he didn't that time.
Right. And so Blevins is like, "Well, this is about to become a murder investigation, just so you know. Like, you're apparently alive. Someone is not." And and Blevins is asking, like, "Well, why did Agent Scully lie then, too?" Like, so it's clear, like, well, Scully could also be in trouble because she was lying to the hearing about Mulder.
Yeah.
And Mulder is just kind of like, "Are we finished then?" and walks out and is very snippy with everyone.
I feel like, I don't know. You fake your own death and then you're like, "How dare you ask me questions about it?" The nerve of you. But I guess if you know that they're like covering up important secrets, okay, all right. I've talked myself into it halfway through my sentence.
Yeah. So Skinner follows him out, and they're generally snippy with each other. And Skinner is like, "I know you've been withholding evidence," and Skinner says that he has in fact been withholding evidence about the body that was found on the floor. So Skinner has been lying for Mulder about this. And he tells Mulder that like, "You're going to need a friend with all of this. So like, let me help you," essentially. Yeah. And Skinner says that like he will continue to lie for Mulder, but he wants Mulder to tell him why. Like, "Can you provide me some context?" Seems very reasonable.
Absolutely.
And Mulder eventually tells him that the disease that Scully was given, or that Scully has, was given to her by someone connected to the FBI. And Skinner asks, well, who? And Mulder says that he failed to find that out.
But we do know that it's somebody at the level of Skinner. So is this done in such a way that the viewer is meant to think, ooh, it could still be Skinner? Like, is that the vibe?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
So then we see people at like a horse racing track, which I feel like, oh no, Ringo, cover your ears.
I know.
Ringo. And there's a member of the syndicate who people call the Fat Man.
Yeah.
And like, it just sticks in my head. I don't want to have to call him that, but like, that's what like everyone calls him.
Fine.
And so it's just in my notes.
I mean, if we just say it like, as a lot of like fat activists say, like fat is a neutral descriptor. So, I mean, I would love to be called that, but none of them have normal names anyhow. Like, he's going to get some sort of moniker, you know?
Right. I mean, it's not like we're like, you know, cigarette smoking man is also not like the best. So,
by the way, a different cigarette smoking man,
our dad,
is driving up here right now to see Ringo because he's not good at tomorrow. So he just, I got a text while we were recording that he is on his way. So.
Oh, what a nice, weird dog Ringo is.
Yeah.
So he's watching. No, he doesn't race. He now he lays on comfy beds. Once he figured out how. It seems like that was a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean, he still melted all the way off the dog bed last night. Like, he just kind of, because I kept waking up in the night and looking at him, and it's like sometimes he'd be normally on the dog bed, and then other times it was like just his head and his entire body had melted off of it. So it's so tricky. It's a lot of limbs to keep straight. Anyway, I could spend an entire hour until you have to go to a meeting talking about Ringo. And wait, did I tell you about the couch?
No.
Oh my God, I was talking to you right before it happened. Sorry for interrupting. But I was sitting on the couch. He was laying with his head in my lap, laying on his side. His legs were like pointed into the couch, you know, like that's the way he was facing. And then he stretched a little and he fell off the couch.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like slowly. And he's just like, oh, I'm upside down. But he didn't flip out like I would have expected. He was just kind of like, here I am. I don't know. So I had to like reroute him. And then later he would have fallen off a second time. And I had to like hold him up with my arms. Like, he just seems sort of oblivious. So he's a big goofball. Yeah. Anyway, needed to share that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, less so for Ringo, but I think he was fine.
He was totally fine with it.
Yeah. So he's sitting there at the racetrack watching a hearing about the limits to science, about like general, like how far should science go sorts of questions. And it's about cloning humans.
And presumably he's watching this like on a device, it's not being held at the racetrack.
Right, yes. And I was trying to figure out like I don't know, like a portable DVD player or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Portable DVD players were a thing. I mean, I don't know if they were a thing back then.
Or like a little TV. I don't know. We're not going to get into that.
Yeah,
because we don't have that capacity.
Yeah.
So cigarette smoking man walks up and says, hey, you know, did you hear Mulder's alive?
Yeah.
And the fat man says that he knows that, and also that cigarette smoking man allowed him to escape the research facility. So he's like, hey, you're also partially responsible for why he's alive.
Yeah.
And cigarette smoking man reminds him that, I'm sorry. As I'm saying this, I'm thinking about their names, and I'm thinking about like how did well-dressed man get, like, how did, like, I'd like to be like, I'm sorry, I would like to be not the fat man. Can I be well-dressed man? Like,
yeah,
like, you know,
I feel like cigarette smoking man is actively not well-dressed, so I feel like he doesn't get that, but I feel like any of the rest of them, they're all just in suits. Yeah.
Anyway. So he does that whole thing where he's, you know, he's more valuable alive.
Yeah.
And
which, like, I always wonder how much of that is true to him and how much is he just wants him alive for personal reasons and is trying to justify it.
Right. Yeah. So cigarette smoking man walks off, and the fat man says to this guy who's lurking behind him, you can proceed now. So, yeah. So, back in the hospital, Scully's awake, and Mulder's there to see her, and he gives her a kiss on the cheek, which was very nice.
Aw.
And he says that he's going to testify to the FBI assembly, and he's going to just tell them everything he knows.
Wow. Okay.
And Scully is like more hesitant, and she thinks that Skinner is dirty, and that he's the man who's been on the inside. And that he will use the knowledge that he has about the dead man in Mulder's apartment against him.
Wow. Okay.
And so Scully thinks that Mulder should just blame everything on her. She's like, the subtext is like, well, I'm dying anyway.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So, like, just throw me under the bus.
Yeah. Scully came in and shot this guy in the face or whatever.
Yeah,
like, okay.
Right. Yeah, and so she says, like, you know, that'll help me give more meaning to what's happened to me if I can be the reason why you get to continue to do this. And so Mrs. Scully and Bill Scully walk in, and Mulder introduces himself to Bill. I didn't realize they hadn't.
Oh, they hadn't even met. Okay, then I feel like his previous irritation with Mulder. I don't know how he behaves in this episode, but at least previously, if he hadn't even met him.
Yeah.
He hadn't even had the chance to be charmed by him. But,
yeah. Like, well, now that I see what you look like, Mulder.
Yeah.
So Mulder says to him, like, kind of as, you know, on the side as they're shaking hands that, you know, I'm sorry about your sister. And Bill says, you know, Mr. Mulder, I do know something about you and about what she's been through. So please, like, leave the work away from here and just let her die with dignity.
Okay.
So then we see a dark, menacing staircase.
Ooh.
And the guy who is told to proceed now is there with a gun in a case and is, like, starting to set things up.
Okay.
So, yeah. So Mulder's leaving the hospital, and he runs into Cigarette Smoking Man and immediately says, please tell me you're here with severe chest pains. And he tells Mulder that he knows that he was in the storage facility, and that he found the cure for her disease. And Mulder is like, well, no, it was useless. Like, that wasn't anything.
That was DI water.
Yeah. See, look at you.
Yeah.
And Cigarette Smoking Man says, no, on the contrary, it is the key to her survival. And so he I just enjoy the way he talks.
The way he talks is incredible. Yeah.
And so he offers to walk outside with Mulder and explain it to him. And he says, I'm here as your friend, Agent Mulder. And they start walking outside. Oof. And so this is like another repeated, it's like hearkening back to Skinner saying, like, you need a friend. And Man is like, I'm here as your friend.
Yeah. And so it's like, who do you trust? Except it's hard to imagine thinking you should ever trust Cigarette Smoking Man. Like,
that would be hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I
guess I was trying to think, who would I trust more than Cigarette Smoking Man, or less than, of, like, reoccurring characters? And I guess I would say Krychek.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. I think he is slightly more self-serving.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that other than him, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it.
I read something recently that William B. Davis said he tried to play him like Cigarette Smoking Man saw himself as the hero and the one doing everything right. And I thought that was interesting. That. Yeah.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Anyhow.
So presumably they talk, because then we see Mulder back with the lone gunman, and he's tapping out from the little metal vial that he had. He's tapping out some of the water, and eventually and is kind of hitting it now hard in like a glass petri dish or something, and says, he promised me it would be in here. And then we see a microchip come out. So there's like a little microchip that had been in the DI water.
Yes.
And so Mulder brings up the fact that there had originally been a small chip in her neck that when they had taken it out, that's when her cancer symptoms had started. And so, because one of the lone gunmen says something like, do we think this will help? You know, like what's the microchip have to do with it? And so the theory then is like they took the microchip out, I guess, and it caused cancer. And so now they'll put the microchip back in. But that's what it is. That's what was in there.
As a biologist, do you think that there's anything to anything here?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
I just feel like I got nothing other than I picture Rob Lowe's character on Parks and Rec talking about how he can't get the flu because his body is like a microchip and any tiny thing can destroy it. So,
no, because I mean, the whole thing with the microchip is that it needs some sort of electric conduction system. So
I mean, like, there is electricity in the body, but not in the way that,
That's right. That's what I was going to say is like, presumably then the idea is that it could work with the body's nervous system, but it's not picking up and sending the same sorts of information. There's nothing here that I can come up with that would, now, like, we can do cool stuff with like electrical implants in the body.
Yeah,
I mean, there's like the whole, cochlear implant and all sorts of, cool ways. There's, I was just having some students of mine in my physiology class do a lab where one of them is hooked up to stimulating electrodes and the other one, their arm is, and the other person's
is it scary?
No, it feels like a TENS machine.
Okay,
like,
which I was very afraid of until recently.
Oh, so yes, it is scary.
Yeah.
And then the other one is hooked up to like receptors essentially. And so the one person can squeeze a ball and it will make the other person's hand twitch.
What?
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
Okay, so theoretically, does this mean we could build on this technology so that like I could like make you do a dance routine?
The idea is that they could build on this technology for like people being able to better control their prosthetic limbs. But I mean, maybe if we hooked it up properly. I mean, it would be. You would have to also be doing the dance.
Okay,
to use this.
So it'd be really good for like a synchronized team or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Anyway. We can go on.
I got very much down a rabbit hole of watching Dance Your PhD videos because I was like,
Dance
so what?
Your PhD.
That's awesome.
And
I'm still sometimes tempted because apparently it doesn't have to be like right after.
Are they still running it? Because I know they took a break around the pandemic.
Oh, no, there were, like, I watched this year's winners or last year's winners.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah, if you don't know what this is, it is a context where people must do a dance that expresses the topic of their PhD. I feel like I don't have a PhD, and that's the main reason I should have gotten one. So maybe that's why I didn't get one. But yeah.
Yeah, I really haven't taken full advantage then.
Yeah, no, you should.
Yeah. So, there's another FBI hearing.
They love their hearings.
They love their hearings. And Michael Krischkow walks into the room.
Oh, okay.
And Skinner is also there. And they want Krischkow to answer about what happened between Mulder and Scott Osselhoff, who was the name of the
guy that Mulder shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he asks, do you know who killed Scott Osselhoff? Blevins is who's questioning him. And, do you know of any deaths in connection to, Mulder and Scully, essentially, and, or to this issue? And Krischkow, unfortunately, says that he's aware of one death in connection. His son died that morning.
Oh, God. Oof.
Yeah. And they confirm, like, you do work for the DOD, right? And he's like, yes. And he says, I work for the DOD, but I'm also paid by Roche, which is the name of a congressional lobbying firm.
Oh, okay.
And so we see Skinner kind of take a note that says Roche to, like, look more into. Mm-hmm. So Mulder goes back to the hospital with the chip and is showing Scully now and explaining his theory about putting a new chip inside of her, curing things. Bill Mulder thinks this is crazy, which is fair.
I mean, again, I try to imagine it like, especially given that they've already lost one sibling. And now Dana's dying and he's trying to make peace with it. And like, I know he is kind of a jerk, but also
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, I
oh,
would.
you're going to insert this chip into my sister? What the hell are you doing? I guess what I would try to think is like, what do you want? Because always trying to imagine it's you or something. Because like, what would I do? There. Oh, okay.
So they're arguing about it. Scully says that it should be her decision.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right, I agree. Yes. Good.
Yeah. And she wants to try it.
Okay.
So they're gonna do it.
I guess I do kind of feel like it does seem like low risk. Like
right. Yes. Yeah. Although I thought it was funny. I don't watch SNL anymore. We went through a period of time where we watched it a lot, but then I think like it was like I'm glad at the political satire, but then it makes me think too much about politics. And like, I think
I don't want to see anybody dressed like certain politicians. I don't want to think about it. All I really do is watch David S. Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except there was a skit that I kept seeing on like Instagram and stuff. I don't know, a month or two ago, called Maha Hospital. And it was in the style of like the Pit or ER or something.
Yeah.
And it was all like making fun of different, make America healthy again things of God. Like get that person garlic staff and things like that. Anyway, so we see the gunman in the stairwell again, setting up his stuff. I already
forgot. So is he like aiming out a window?
At this point, he is just in a stairwell.
Okay.
Yeah. Mulder is waiting outside of the hospital room now, and Bill Scully comes to talk to him and says something along the lines of, "You really believe this crap, don't you?" And then says, "I've already lost one sister to this quest you're on, and now I'm losing another. Is it worth it?" Very fair. And Mulder says no. And tries to explain, like, I have also lost. I lost my dad. This has also affected me too.
He lost his dad in like the same set of episodes. He could tell Bill.
Yeah. And Bill Scully calls him a sorry son of a bitch and walks away.
Okay.
And so Mulder gets a phone call and answers and says, "Sorry son of a bitch speaking." And it's cigarette smoking man. And he says that there's a meeting that Mulder will want to attend. So we see Mulder then later at a diner, and a car pulls up, and it's cigarette smoking man, and there's a woman in the passenger seat, and Mulder says it's Samantha.
No. Why am I shocked by this now? I mean,
I don't know.
We've already met one adult Samantha, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he like took her to his mom's house and like bees.
Right. Yeah. So. And this is where I start to get confused, too, because it's like, does Mulder think it's that Samantha? Does he think it's a new Samantha? Does he think it's, like, that they're both the original? Does he think, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, like, I want him to ask her, which he doesn't, but I want him to be like, so did we, like, are you the same person I met a couple years ago then?
Yeah.
Like,
Were you the one with, like, Canada and the bees and, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Right. So, she says that she was afraid that something had happened to him that night, and that he had always told her that something bad had happened to Mulder that same night. And Mulder says, "Who?" And she says, "My father," and looks to cigarette smoking man.
What? How am I? I've seen these episodes. Why am I shocked? How can I not?
I don't know. And I'm going to explain things.
Okay, sorry. All right. There is a theme. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So Mulder and Samantha then are talking in the diner. She says she never really tried that hard to remember, that she was only 8 when it happened, which I don't think, like, I think about Mulder being 13 and I think less about Samantha being 8, but it's interesting having an 8-year-old now myself.
Yeah.
Like, that is really pretty young. And she said that she, like, didn't really remember her life before and that she had just always been told that she was an orphan. But that at some point her foster parents had said that they were going to take her somewhere to meet her father. And when she met him then, cigarette smoking man, she could remember him from before.
Okay. And we also know he was there, so yeah.
Right. And also he was always really kind to her. And so she kind of accepted that then.
Okay. Can you imagine him interacting with children and being kind?
No, it's really weird.
I feel like he'd give them a pack of Morleys or something.
Yeah. And so she says that cigarette smoking man told her recently, like, before this trip, that he had finally found Mulder. And so Mulder says, well, he's lying then because he's known where I was for a long time.
Yeah.
And she doesn't believe him, though, because, again, in this world, and again, like, and I'm not ruining anything because we don't ever really know. Like, I don't know, like, is this some actress that he, like, is she lying? Is this actually her reality? I don't know. I mean, I know the woman who plays her is an actress, but, yeah. Is this actually Samantha Mulder?
Reminds me of the Tony Kornheiser Show podcast that Adam listens to, where Tony famously was talking about the movie Gravity and said, and it wasn't filmed in space, I don't think. No, it was not filmed in space. Yeah.
When, I know I've told this story, but when Zach asked me who was singing a song from Moana, if it was George Washington, and I went, oh, no, this is, and gave the actor's name, like as if I had thought he was asking me if actual George Washington.
Is this a recording of George Washington singing? Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Hamilton, that's what he was referencing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, she doesn't believe Mulder, and Mulder is like, well, come with me to see Mom. And she's like, Mom's alive? And like,
okay, so
and
she can't be the same one because that one met Mrs. Mulder. Yeah.
Right. And she says she can't stay. She has her own life and children of her own. And it's just kind of left with like, well, I'll think about it. Like, I'll think about interacting with you more, etc.
I need to interrupt and say something about Mrs. Mulder that I've been meaning to mention. Listeners, let me know if I've already mentioned this and if I forgot. I don't think I have. Oh, God, maybe I have. All right.
Well, what?
The Eve twins. One of them is named Tina, but it is spelled Teena. And that is because she was named for the wife of, I want to say Wong, of Morgan and Wong fame. One of the writers' wives. I think it was Wong. Tina Mulder is also named Tina and is also spelled the same way for the same reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they're just naming people Tina, Teena, all over the place.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've been meaning to say that about Tina Mulder.
Oh, wow. Huh. I mean, I could see, like, I don't know. I have, like, recently, I feel like every person, every 40-year-old man I know is named Zach. Like, it seems like every, like...
There are a lot of them.
There are a lot of them, yeah. But it's interesting because, like, it's a weird spelling of Tina. And also there's, like, that... I don't know what my point is, that there's the generational gap between Mrs. Mulder and, like, I don't know. Like, I could see them being, like, another Kim. I don't know. Anyway, that's not important.
Kim is also someone involved in the X-Files. It also just reminds me of, like, when my book came out, and when I got the book contract and I realized this is going to be published, no one can stop me from making what look like meaningless edits that include references to real people that I like. So I added I think they're going to be playing, the Derby team is going to be playing the Dairyland Dolls, which is a real team, my team, instead of a fictitious one, in just like a throwaway line. Why not? And maybe it's Jammer number 262, because that's my friend Nat. Why not? I can just do that. No one can stop me. And it reminds me of the same way, like, they're just like, why not? Let's do it. Another Tina.
Yeah. So we see Scully sitting on, like, outside of a scanning machine, and a doctor is injecting her with something. She says she can't remember what it was. He says it's fluorodeoxyglucose, and she's getting a PET scan. I'll ruin this now. I expected this to be like, the doctor is giving her medicine. That means she can't remember things. And he's not actually injecting her just with the fluorescent dye. But no, he is. That's fine.
I mean, like, she went to that other doctor who turned out to be a clone. So
yeah. No, this guy is actually just giving her a PET scan.
Okay.
And I checked, and yes, that is just what they use in PET scans as well.
Great.
Cool. And so they're kind of talking about, like, because the doctor had said, like, he doesn't really have any more, like, traditional treatments he can try on her. This is when they were arguing about the treatment. And so, like, he has some other stuff that he can try that's less, again, I wonder if this was almost like a plot line they got rid of or something, because, like, he was talking about, like, some other things they could try that are less traditional. And then there's the scene with the doctor again, and he's talking about, if I can get your cytolytic cells to recognize the cancer cells as something to attack, then there's still a chance.
Okay.
Which is all true.
Oh, yes. I definitely thought you were going to say it wasn't. So, okay.
I mean, cytolytic cells are cells that kill other cells. And if they would recognize cancer cells as foreign, then they would kill the cancer. So,
okay.
I mean.
All right.
But she's also kind of talking to him about, like, it's very clear in all of this that, like, she thinks she's dying.
Okay.
Like, she does not think any of this is going to work.
Okay.
We see the sniper again, and he's watching in a window.
I keep forgetting about him. God, okay. He's just hanging out in this stairwell for a really long time. And everybody's, like, not using that stairwell that much, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so now we see that he's watching Mulder and cigarette smoking man walk across the street. And I forgot how tall cigarette smoking man is, because looking at him next to David Duchovny is, like, really impressive.
That's how you got confused on that water skiing video.
It's exactly how I got confused.
Yeah. It's a tall man water skiing.
Yeah. And so Mulder asks, like, why are you being helpful? What's in it for you? And cigarette smoking man says that he came to offer him the truth, and says that he'll tell him the truth if Mulder quits the FBI and comes to work with him. And Mulder, like, briefly considers and then says, no deal. Yeah. And
as if you could trust him to tell you the truth. I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and what he says is that, like, no, you haven't actually given me anything. Like, Scully's still sick.
Yeah.
He murdered his father. He murdered Scully's sister. He took his sister away. Like, no, you didn't actually,
He made Skinner do all of that jazz with the bees and the cleaning up the body of the postal worker, bee-wise, with promises of making Scully better, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. I have questions, but every time I ask questions, you tell me you're about to get to it. So I'm just going to, you remember when we lived together? This is what it's like watching TV with me in real life. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, it is, isn't it? I forgot how much you talk during movies.
Yeah. It kills Adam. Yeah. Luckily, he pauses it a lot so we can get snacks. So I try to save it for our, like, multiple pause. And I'm talking, we're watching like a half an hour show, and we'll pause it like twice to get up and get snacks. So we just get like little snacks, Oh yeah,
and, that sounds lovely.
Great. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I talk constantly. Remember, like, you and Amanda had like a roll of duct tape that you would like pound. Said you were going to pound on the table to like threaten me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now it happens that, like, Zach will just be like scrolling on Instagram or something, and I'll be like reading a book. And like, so to him, it's just like we're hanging out, and he's just casually scrolling. And so he'll start talking to me, and I'll be like,
you're like, I need to find out about these hockey players and how they're falling in love.
Yeah. What is the commissioner going to do, Zach? I got to find out.
I heard sad gay sports news, but it's not sad. It's that Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird are getting divorced, who are the soccer player and the basketball player, and like they have a podcast together, and I just like just wanted good things for them. And they posted like a very mature thing, because they have a podcast, and they were like talking about it, and I just felt like, I always felt so happy thinking of them together,
I don't think I knew about them together. I think when I think about lesbian soccer players with podcasts, I think of Glennon Doyle and Abby Wambach.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. I also follow their podcast. I don't listen to either, but I follow them both on Instagram. And I was about to say, listeners, that's an option for you. But of course, if you're hearing this message, by definition. Anyway, yes, no, not them. Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird. But yeah, I also had that like moment of disconnect of like, wait, which gay soccer podcast is this? So
interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
It's a bummer, though.
I'm sorry to hear that,
but,
though.
Like, as one says, divorce is always a good thing, because if you're at that point, then it's for the best. So then they can go and be happy. separately.
Yeah.
It sounds it sounds like they might keep doing the podcast. So that's cool.
Interesting.
There is another X-Files podcast, or like they do other shows too, but they had a spread of episodes about the X-Files, which they called the X-Files, spelled EX, because it was two women who used to be married, who are divorced, who do an X-Files podcast, which I just adore. Awesome. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So anyway,
this is what it's like watching TV with me.
Yeah. So Scully is, no, I'm sorry. So, they're talking, Mulder's like, hey, you haven't actually done anything. And Cigarette Smoking Man says he knows there's a hearing tomorrow and kind of says that like, mildly threateningly.
Okay. Yeah.
Like maybe you'll change your mind.
Yeah.
Sort of a thing. So Scully's in bed in the hospital. And her mom is there, and her mom comes in and is like, the doctor told me you wanted to talk. And they don't actually show the implant being put back in, but we can see there's a bandage on the back of Scully's neck. So they must have put the implant back in.
Okay.
And so I was a little unsure of like why they were doing the PET scan. Like, was it like immediately after? Because they thought things would have immediately changed, but whatever.
Okay.
And so she's having a crisis of faith, which is why she called her mom there. And the PET scan apparently showed no improvement. And
seems like,
this I thought,
it's very fast though. Yeah.
Yeah. And this I thought was interesting that like, so they're talking about faith and she says something about being afraid. And then she says, I know you're afraid to tell me, but you have to tell someone, which I think just means more about talking about like her fear of dying and of having lost her faith and stuff. But I wrote it down in my notes because I was like, is there some sort of other secret that she's afraid to tell people? I was like very paranoid that I was going to lose track of what was happening. But I think
that Scully is going to tell people or not tell people.
Yeah. So her mom says, I know you're afraid to tell me, but you have to tell someone.
Yeah. So, I mean, could that just mean like, does her mom know all about the aliens? It seems like she must, but...
Yeah, I don't know. But I think they were just talking about, like, her fears in general.
Okay.
So we see now the fat man is once again watching the cloning hearing. And we see Skinner walk into the hearing. In the background. And so he calls someone, the fat man, and says on the phone, do you see who just walked in? He's gathering information.
Ooh.
And then also says our colleague was supposed to have fixed the FBI problem. And this is what I wrote in my notes. Does any of this have to do with cloning? Why is Skinner in a cloning hearing? What is like?
Yeah, I was actually assuming that this was one of those hearings where like it was actually real and it was from a long time ago or something, like the UFO one that Mulder was watching. So like, no, this is a TV hearing about cloning, and I was like, so is it Samantha? Is that what we're talking about, clones?
I don't know. Maybe. But they're talking about like the benefits of it, and it's called like the human cloning something is like on the bottom of the TV. And
the benefits of cloning people. I don't know. This just leads to that. What is that book? Is it Never Let Me Go? Ooh. Have you read that?
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't read it, I just spoiled it like a jerk. So the best thing you can do is forget I ever said this.
Well, that's easy.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah. I'll wait a few episodes and I'll say, I want to tell you about a book you've never heard of that you should read.
Yeah. So Scully is asleep in the hospital at night, and we see Mulder come in, and he just kind of sits by her bed and cries, and it's very sad.
Oh, God. It's so sad when David Duchovny cries. He cries in Return to Me, and it breaks my heart. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So the next morning, we see Mulder walk into that one guy's office, Blevins. Yeah. And he says to have a seat, that something urgent has come up, Blevins says. And that he has received some alarming forensic evidence from Osthoff, the guy who was shot, that the ballistics match Mulder's weapon.
Okay.
So that's not good.
Nope.
And they being Blevins et al., think that Scully was going to name Skinner as the person who was working within the FBI with a secret agenda. And they say that they have also accumulated substantial evidence against Skinner. And that if Mulder will name Skinner, it would save himself. And says that he called him in there to recommend that he does that as a friend.
Okay, so this is like a whole, like, people saying they're his friend, but who is the real friend?
Yep. Yeah. So Mulder goes back to Scully's hospital room, and she's like, what are you doing here? You have a hearing.
Yeah.
And he says that he was offered a deal. He's talking about the one from Cigarette Smoking Man.
Okay.
And says that after he left her hospital room last night that he was going to take the deal. But he tells Scully that it doesn't matter, like, what this original deal was, because after this morning, he decided he's not going to take it. So after Blevins.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to take it. And he tells her that Section Chief Blevins called him in to name Skinner as the man inside the FBI. And I was like, Blevins, that's that guy. And so Scully says again that she can take the fall. Like, you can just name me as all. And Mulder won't let her do that, though, because of what it'll do to her family, which is fair and nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Because they're, like, actual good friends to each other. / whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're interrupted then by a priest walking in. And he gives her a kiss on the cheek again, which is very sweet.
Aww.
And she says that he'll be in her prayers. And he says, have the Father say a few Hail Mulders for him.
Hail Mulders?
Yeah. There's some, like, good, like, one-liners in this.
Yeah.
So at the hearing, Mulder is, like, ready to testify, and they're kind of like, if you have anything you want to say, and he's like, nope, I'm good. I'll start talking.
Okay.
And Skinner is also kind of like, do you want a break first? And Mulder's like, nope, I'm ready to testify. And he says that, and Blevins and one of his cronies or whatever are like, who shot Agent Osselhoff and Osthoff? Whatever.
I think it's Hasselhoff. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. And Mulder starts talking about, like, the conspiracy from the government and all these things, and says he will only answer the question of who shot Agent Osselhoff after he names the man who is responsible for Scully's cancer and who's been lying to the American people. And the man is sitting in this room right now, and it's Chief Blevins.
Ah, yes. Which is why he was trying to get Mulder to name Skinner.
Right. And so then we see the sniper, and we see him looking through. Did you forget about him again?
I forgot about him again. It's amazing how long a sniper can just hang out.
I mean, I think that's part of their job. Is
what
my
if
impression.
He has to pee? Yeah, okay. I was more just thinking. I mean, the main thing I was thinking, not about peeing. What I was thinking is, like, what if somebody wants to use those stairs?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're sectioned off.
Yeah.
But now he is watching Cigarette Smoking Man in his office. So we see, like, the sniper is looking through his scope at Cigarette Smoking Man.
Okay.
And Cigarette Smoking Man, in turn, is looking at a picture of Mulder and Samantha that he has in his office, which is, like, so creepy. If, like...
As kids or adults?
As kids.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know, if some old coworker of mine who, like, slept with my wife had a picture of my kids, like, that would be so weird. And so we see this, and then we hear a gunshot.
Oh.
Meanwhile, we see Blevins quickly walk into his office in a panic.
Yeah.
And some guy is on the phone and puts down the phone and immediately shoots Blevins.
Oh, my God.
And then puts his gun in Blevins' hand and walks out.
Oh, my God.
And we see Cigarette Smoking Man wounded on the floor and kind of slowly dragging the broken picture towards him.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yeah. So then we see Mulder waiting in the hospital hallway again, and Skinner walks up to sit next to him and tells him that Smoking Man is dead. And Mulder says, how? And Skinner says, shot through his window. And Skinner gives Mulder the picture of Mulder and Samantha that had been there and says that forensics found it on the scene. Which, like, I feel like, well, then keep it with forensics, Skinner. Don't steal evidence.
Yeah.
But whatever. Skinner says there was no body, but there was too much blood loss for anyone to have survived, which I feel like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
We know how this goes then. Which, like, Scully goes into hypovolemic shock from a nosebleed, but, like, well, actually, I mean, like, that, I actually have seen someone with a horrible nosebleed that it was actually, like, kind of traumatic because I was taking William to see an allergist and get allergy testing, and there was someone in the waiting room because it was an allergist and ENT, ear, nose, and throat, and they had like a bucket in front of them because their nose was bleeding so much. Yeah, it was.
Oh!
Yeah, I just wanted to be like, I kept being like, let's play I Spy again.
Yeah, yeah. And then I just feel like I spy something red. No.
Yeah. So I mean, like, nosebleeds can be really traumatic.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say just, but I don't know.
It is
interesting
weird
given the
timing given the earlier events of the same episode. Yeah.
Right. So Skinner asks how Mulder knew about Blevins, and Mulder says he didn't. He just guessed. And Skinner says, well, it's a hell of a guess because Blevins has been on the payroll of a biotech company called Roush for 4 years.
Roush.
Yeah. And Skinner says they're cleaning up. They're taking everything away. And Mulder says, not everything. Scully's cancer has gone into remission.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Skinner asks if he can see her. And Mulder says, yeah, go ahead. And so he walks in and she's like smiling and she smiles at Skinner and her family's there. And then in the hallway, Mulder is looking at the picture of him and Samantha that Skinner had handed him.
Okay.
And that's it. That is
wow.
Redux 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, like, obviously we know Cigarette Smoking Man isn't dead. Even if we didn't already know it, we would know it because there was no body.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But he's indestructible. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's hit with a rocket later in the series and survives. So.
I thought that was when he finally got it, or no?
Nope. Turns out no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this coming from knowledge from the, like,
what do you call it? Not
reboot?
Not the reboot, but not Redux, because that's what we just watched. The,
right.
The, I don't know,
season,
words.
like 10 or whatever?
Yeah,
like
seasons
the
10
newer,
and 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a word. Whatever.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It probably starts with re. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, that's it for now, though.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of questions.
Yeah. I probably don't have answers at this point.
Was it a good episode? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, and I suspect this is how I have watched them in the past. I would very much like to have seen, like, last episode, season 4, then
watch them all
5,
together.
2.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, and then I don't know. I want to make some sort of joke about you talking during them, but I can't.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So this is where we'll stop.
Yeah.
For now.
But we'll be back to you shortly. We'll have an interview with Susan Blomert next week. Feel free to still write in. We'll keep an eye on things. So even if it's just a rerun, we might add a little beginning thing to an episode. And we'll have reruns for you all summer, except for, like I said, we'll talk about Disclosure Day. And then, I mean, hey, if there's any other big events, like big news about the reboot that Ryan Coogler's doing, or, Aliens Land or something, then, we'll have to have another update for that. Otherwise, we will return for the fall semester.
Yeah. And just as a heads up, I feel like this is actually really perfect. Episode 3 of season 5, so where we'll get back to, is Unusual Suspects. So that's the one that flashes back to the lone gunman and how they met Mulder.
Oh, wonderful.
So I feel like that'll be a good, oh my God. And then the next one is Detour.
Oh, I love Detour. Oh,
yeah.
That's such a good one. Season
5.
We're coming up on Bad Blood, the best episode of all time. So it's exciting.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh man, looking at all these, season 5 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be great. That'll be a good one to come back to after this.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway,
all right, have a good summer, everyone. Yeah. Enjoy our interview with Susan Blomert, who is so nice.
Wonderful. We love her.
Yes. We do. And we'll talk to you in the fall.
See you later. Bye.
We Want to Believe is hosted by Helen Werner and Liz Holden. It's produced by Zach Werner. The We Want to Believe theme music was created and recorded by Zach Werner. Find us at wewanttoBelievePod.com, on Instagram at wewanttoBelievePod, or send us an email at wewanttoBelievePod@gmail.com.